One team didn't concede a single goal in qualification. Not one. The other has two of the most dangerous strikers in Europe standing side by side. Something has to give. And when it does, this World Cup group will never be the same. Match importance. Welcome to Estadio BBVA in Monterrey, Mexico. The noise is building. The flags are waving. And on this pitch tonight, Sweden and Tunisia collide in what could be the most tactically chess-like opening match of the entire tournament. Group F is brutal. Netherlands. Japan. Two nations already circling qualification spots. Which means this game, Sweden versus Tunisia, isn't just an opener. It's a statement match. Win here, and you control your destiny. Lose here, and you're already chasing shadows. This is where World Cups are won and lost before they've even really begun. Sweden's journey. Let's talk about Sweden. Because this story, it's complicated. 13 World Cup appearances. Runners-up in 1958. Third place in 1994. Quarter-finalists as recently as 2018. Sweden is not a small football nation. They are a historic one. But here's the part nobody wants to say out loud: their road to this World Cup was embarrassing. They stumbled through UEFA qualification. They drew against Greece. They lost to Norway. Matches they were supposed to win comfortably became painful, grinding affairs that left fans questioning everything. They only made it here through the playoffs. Beating Ukraine. Then Poland. Scraping through on grit alone. And yet, Graham Potter saw something. The same coach who rebuilt Brighton, who earned respect at Chelsea before the chaos consumed him, is now in charge of a Swedish rebuild. Potter believes in structure. He believes in pressing, transition, and intelligent movement. And slowly, very slowly, he is making Sweden believe again. But here's the scary part for Tunisia. Potter has Alexander Isak back. The Newcastle striker, electric, technically brilliant, impossible to contain in open space, returns to the Swedish squad after missing chunks of qualification. And he's not alone up front. Victor Gyökeres. The man who carried Sweden on his back when Isak was absent. One of the most informed strikers in European football. A physical, relentless goal scorer who doesn't know how to stop running. Two strikers. One formation. A 3-5-2 that gives both of them room to breathe, to combine, to destroy. And behind them, Victor Lindelof marshalling a back three with calm and authority. Sweden, when they click, are genuinely frightening. The question is, can they click against the most organized defensive unit in African football? Tunisia's defensive power. Because Tunisia didn't just qualify for this World Cup. They did something historic. 10 clean sheets. 10. In an entire qualification campaign, no opponent found the net against them. Not once. That is not luck. That is a philosophy. That is Sabri Lamouchi drilling his side into a defensive machine so compact, so disciplined, so suffocating, that teams simply run out of ideas. This is a nation that punched above its weight for decades. 7 World Cup appearances. In 1978, they became the first African nation to win a World Cup match, beating Mexico in a moment that shook the football world. They won AFCON in 2004. Tunisia is not a stranger to the big stage. And this time, they arrive with something different. They arrive with belief. Their 4-2-3-1 is built to absorb pressure and explode on the counter. Elis Skiri, one of the most complete defensive midfielders in the game, will be the engine. Alongside Rani Khedira, they form a midfield shield that has broken down attack after attack in qualification. And then there's Hannibal Mejbri. The Manchester United Academy product who plays with fire and intelligence. He's the creative spark behind the lines, the one player who can turn nothing into something in the blink of an eye. Yet Tunisia has one weapon people underestimate: their mentality. They don't fear the moment. They embrace it. This game will be decided in the spaces between the lines. Sweden will dominate possession. Potter's system demands it. They'll push their wingbacks high, try to stretch Tunisia wide, and look to feed Isak and Gyökeres in the half spaces where they're most lethal. But Tunisia won't give them those spaces easily. Skiri and Khedira will sit deep, protecting the two centre-backs, funneling Sweden toward low-percentage shots from distance. Lamucci's team knows exactly what they're doing. The real battle? It's Bergvall and Ayari, Sweden's creative midfielders, trying to find pockets of space against one of the most disciplined defensive blocks in international football. And this changes everything, because if Sweden can't unlock that midfield, they'll be forced to go direct. And going direct against Tunisia's aerial dominance is exactly where Lamucci wants this game to go. This may not be a match for casual fans looking for 8 goals and chaos. But for those who love tactics, tension, and two teams playing chess at 100 miles per hour, this is unmissable. Watch Alexander Isak's movement in behind. One run. One moment of genius. That's all it takes. Watch Victor Gyökeres when his back is to goal. His hold-up play, his link play, his ability to spin and shoot in one motion. Tunisia will need their centre-backs at their absolute best. Watch Hannibal Mejbri for Tunisia. If he gets time on the ball in the final third, he can create something from nothing. And watch Elis Skiri. The man who makes Tunisia's defensive system work. If he's on fire tonight, Sweden could be staring at a wall they simply cannot climb. Why this game decides Group F? Because history says opening matches matter. Teams that win their first group game advance to the knockout stage far more often than those who don't. A victory here sends a message to Netherlands and Japan: we are here, we are real, and we are not leaving quietly. And because every point in this group could separate qualification from elimination, this result could echo across every match that follows. Prediction: Sweden 1, Tunisia 0. Not a comfortable win. Not a dominant performance. A tight, tense, grinding match that Sweden edged through a moment of individual brilliance, Isak, Gyökeres, or a set-piece routine that breaks Tunisia's defensive concentration just enough. Tunisia will be heroic. They'll fight for every blade of grass. They'll create chances on the counter that will make every Sweden fan's heart stop. But ultimately, the quality up front for Sweden will prove the difference. One moment. One goal. One massive 3 points. So here's the question I need you to answer right now in the comments. Can Tunisia shock Europe and hold Sweden to a draw, or even steal 3 points, with the most disciplined defensive performance of this World Cup? Or will Isak and Gyökeres finally break the wall and announce Sweden's arrival on the world stage? Drop your prediction below. Like if you think Sweden win. Comment if you believe Tunisia can pull off the upset. And subscribe, because this World Cup is only just getting started.